Well, I think we're nearly at the end of the season, but I have no idea how the league is actually structured in Switzerland. We supposedly have 3 regular games to go. However, it's February. So I think there's a split similar to the split we had in Wales. And then there's multiple playoffs and other complicated things. There is a chance we're about to find out if we can win the league or not, or qualify for the Champions League or not. There's equally as much of a chance that there's another 30 games to play, and I just don't understand Switzerland. That's part of the charm of managing in a league you don't know very well, or at all. Right, so this is the situation. We have these 3 games left, and then we've got the semi-final in April. The fact the semi-final is April suggests there is actually lots more games left. You don't get much of a clue from this screen. Not this screen, the rules screen. There's so many things that happen. We're just gonna have to wait and see, and it'll be fine. Up the Bont has done 10 gifted. Thank you very much, Up the Bont. In fact, having you do that has reminded me, it has officially been announced now by the Bont that I am because this wouldn't be happening without that ridiculous number there. So I'm not gonna spring for a match sponsorship willy-nilly, but thank you to the generosity of everybody this month. Not only have we got all this gear that's going to make the videos we make there even better, but we are match sponsor as well. Official match sponsor, football manager, YouTuber and streamer, LOLLUJO. YouTube's LOLLUJO. There you go. Penabont versus Holywell Town. Can't even say the name. It's the Welsh Cup quarter-final. 12:45 kickoff on Sunday. I urge as many of you as possibly can to come along to the game. There you go. I officially discourage rioting. There's your confirmation of that. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. And there's my little logo. Look at me. Look at me with my little logo. Right, let's play Lugano. I've had a few people whinging that we're not as focused on the matches as we should be in the Servette portion of this save. There's 2 things I'd like to say about that. Thing number 1, are you new? I'm never very focused on the matches. But 2, obviously we're not as into a match away against Lugano that doesn't really mean anything as we were Europa League knockout round with Penabont. So as we get to the more important matches with Servette, obviously we'll get more and more attached to the club, but I am very much enjoying this stretch of the save. There were suggestions I'm not enjoying my time in Switzerland. I don't think you realise just how giddy I am at the prospect of going to Switzerland to watch a football match. That's bonkers to me. That is absolutely bonkers, and I can't wait. So I'm very excited. On my Google notifications the other day, I had a Peterborough Telegraph post about Peterborough Sports. Good. So you should. Everyone needs to know what's going on at Peterborough Sports. Dion Semby Ferris has followed Jimmy Dean out of the door to Scunthorpe. So that's one player followed him. He's tried to take Connor Johnson as well, apparently. I love how small-time Peterborough Sports are. Michael Gash, new Peterborough Sports manager, quoted in the Peterborough Telegraph as saying Connor Johnson didn't go to Scunthorpe because he's got a full-time job and it wouldn't have been convenient, which I love. I love non-league. That's amazing. You don't get enough of that in football. Here we are talking about £120 million transfers and Chelsea spending gazillions. Meanwhile, a little bit further down the ladder, a player's turning down a move to a team in the division above because he doesn't want to give up his day job. And I love it. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. Please tell me it's decaf. I wouldn't lie to you. Why would it be decaf? Decaf tastes funny. I guess I'll just have to go to Typo instead. Luckily, there are many of these shops that do nice little notebooks and pens. But Anna knows that I am a big Paper Chase fan. Is that where I get my Bujos from? I hate that you've called it a Bujo. I get my bullet journals. No, I get the I get fancy bullet journals. I don't just want any old journal. The Lectern, I think they're called. The official ones. I get the official ones. I also do bullet journal the way it was originally intended. You won't find any tape or stencils or coloured pens in my bullet journal. If you read the bullet journal book, bullet journaling is not about tape and stencils and making things pretty. just about organizing your thoughts. The guy who created the system has ADHD, and he found it was the only way that he can manage his brain. And I use it for a similar purpose. It really does help me organize my thoughts and manage my brain. It's literally just a black pen, scribbled notes using the correct notations, nicely organized with a contents page. My BJ or whatever Chris called it. Are we losing? Hold the phone. Here I am looking for my notebook. Meanwhile, we're blowing the league title here. This is all a ploy. This is antics. I call antics. Chris, stop going on about BJs and let me do my footballing. Goodness me. Why are we lagging? We haven't lagged for weeks. This isn't good. Has it been like this the whole match? My Dropbox is fully up to date. Has it been doing this the whole way? And I need to work out what software I've got open that doesn't need to be open. A Boxall! Thank you very much for 10 minutes. 10 minutes? For 10 minutes. Thank you very much for 10 minutes. We've equalised at the same time. Thank you for your 10 gifted subs, which apparently we now refer to as 10 minutes. I'm trying to close programs that are over. I am distracted now because the game is lagging, and I hate it when the game lags like this. Right, that concludes our transfer window, in which we brought in a 22-year-old winger who is Polish and a 19-year-old midfielder who is German, and got rid of Rascals. I'll call that another good window. I don't know why the window is closing on the 15th of February. I think it's just Switzerland things. This country confuses me. Right. So we finished the regular season, 10 points clear. We apparently don't have another match for 54 days. I assume we're going to get some new fixtures in a moment and find out what actually happens, because we don't know. Come on, give me my new... Oh, there you go. New fixtures look like they start there. They're not giving us much time to sell tickets, are they? I just want to qualify for the Champions. I'm not even that bothered about winning the league. Winning the league will be nice, but I want to just qualify for the Champions League. It's all about Europe. Unbeatable Servette. That's how we like to be referred to. And we have lost 3 times, but I'm still comfortable with being classed as unbeatable. Winning the league is Champions League group stage, though. Oh, well, in that case, I now care about winning the league. I mean, obviously, we want to win the league anyway. Have Servette ever won the league? They must have done. I haven't really looked too much at the history of this football club, but I'd like to turn up in Switzerland in a couple of months' time and just say, yeah, I've won all these trophies for you. Aren't I great? Can I have a free cactus and a Swiss Army knife? Oh, there you go. Last won the league in 2023. No wonder I'm so good. This is easy peasy. Team starts with all their league records along with 100% of points from the main league stage. Okay. So rather than it just being a split like we saw in Wales, it's 2 different league tables. This is entirely different. Oh, my word. So, yeah. Well, there you go. So we should have our fixtures now. 10 more matches. But we are 10 points clear. With 10 matches. No, actually, no. We're 7 points clear. 7? Yeah, 7 points clear. With 10 games to play. Come on. What, so even winning the league now isn't going to win us the league? What is this? How long do they have to drag it out? It's a 12-team league. Just have us all play each other 4 times and call it, or 3 times, or whatever. And just call it a day. Right, so Young Boys won it last season, Basel the year before, St. Gallen the year before that, and us the year before that. So quite the nice mix, as you can see. Oh, why are we not going to win this game? What's going on? Someone do a football, please. Ugh. We can't let Young Boys back in. Well, apparently they're not playing. So we still get the fixtures all mixed together, which is confusing. Right, we've got 45 seconds to find a winner in this match. Oh, we're going to lose, aren't we? And so it begins. Oh, no. Wow. That's not how you start a championship group, boys and girls. That's my Football Manager tip of the day. That is not how you start a championship group. Right, we face Grasshopper. Let's do an actual football. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, what a goal from Akos. Beautiful. He's scored 10 now after going so long without scoring a goal. That's a lovely finish. It seems that he needs to have the right players around him and he learns and progresses quickly. Because if you'd have told me that season he was on loan at Posh that he would one day make it to the Premier League, never mind potentially Premier League champion and £50 million player, I would have just giggled at how stupid you were. But yeah, Zinchenko could probably go in there and Tierney in at left back. Not even a sneaky pork pie. I'm certainly not going to eat food like a pork pie sat at my desk. No. What's my opinion on Cancelo to Bayern? I don't really have one other than it's quite good to see Pep falling out with his best players. Long may it continue. Good signing for Bayern. Cancelo's got to be £100 million plus signing. Seems a waste sending him on loan. I don't think a 28-year-old defender or whatever he is £100 million plus. Yes, he's very good, but he's not worth that. But there's no one who's going to pay that for. They're not going to sell him to a title rival in England, and no one else has got the money to buy him now. So it just gets a troublemaker out of the club for the rest of the season. And then they can deal with him in the summer and find a permanent home for him. If Grealish is 100 million, Cancelo is a superior player. Yeah, but he's not an attacker and he's not English. So that's not how transfer fees work. Just being the better player doesn't mean you're worth more. What was the youth intake? A bunch of kids. Not going to concern myself too much with a bunch of kids. I can show you it again if you really want to see it. Just a bunch of kids, though. There you go. Bunch o' kids. I mean, that guy's a striker with spiky hair, so he might be quite good, but he's only 5'7" and less than 9 stone, so he's probably not going to be any good. This guy is 5'9" and less than 10 stone, but he has already got stubble at 15, so maybe. And then this guy is 5'11". Goodness me. He might make it to 6 foot before his 18th birthday. And then another 15-year-old with stubble. Very nice. Oh, it's the next gen list. Well, we're going to should be in the Champions League next season. No, we can't. We don't have enough scouting budget. Hold the phone. We've got money. Let's move this into scouting budget. We've got next gens to scout. We're scouting all of them. We're going to be in the Champions League, hopefully. We need to be bringing in superstars. We're probably not going to get someone from the Premier League, but someone from Tigres is a distinct possibility. Again, probably not Real Madrid or Barcelona unless they're on loan, but Nottingham Forest maybe. Fenerbahce's a definite maybe. I don't know what a Jablonec is, but I mean, Celtic, that should be easy pickings. Maybe. Plymouth. That mask's hurt my eyes. Don't think I'm going to be able to sleep in it. Too tight. I need a bigger one. I've got a full-size head. Right, come on. Let's get everybody gets a scout report. Come on, then. It's the first time I've had to do this on this save because there was no point doing it when we were at Penabon. But You never know. We might get one of these here. We probably won't. We're probably just spending a lot of money scouting a lot of players we've got no hope of ever signing. Just in case one or two of them are potential signings and might actually be any good, we've got to give it a try. There's a player called Janino at Fleetwood. Fleetwood seem to have an insane international youth setup going on. We've already got Mike there as an Austrian. Janino, I don't know what flavour he is. What's that? Brazil? Should have guessed with a name like Janino, really. Oh, God, Shady's on the new gen list. The next gen list. Oh, we'll never hear the end of this. Oh, that's a nightmare. Guy was available for free. What, this guy? That feels glitchy. He's on £0 per week. It feels very glitchy. We shouldn't be able to just sign him. I mean, we know literally nothing about him, other than the fact he's finished third on the next gen. But let's see what happens, I guess. They're an amateur club, are they? Wow. Yeah, I couldn't mess around taking the release clause off. We already had an orange negotiation because we were messing with his salary. So I had to leave the release clause on at risk of putting him off entirely. Didn't want to negotiate and upset him. What's going on here, Johan? You're trying to bring Bilal Bafdili in, who can play anywhere. Oh, that looks... Is he EU, though? Yes, he's got Belgian. Beautiful. We love EU around here. We're not letting him go unless he pays full salary. Right, this guy's got 5-star potential, and we're getting him for absolutely nothing. So I guess we're cheesing the next gen list. Yeah. Do I still have to do a first versus second player? No one's really sure, and the rules are so unclear. We're kind of just taking everything as it comes this season because this makes no sense. There's so much going on. If I ever use... Right, here's my promise to you. If I ever use the duct tape, the next thing I'll do is buy a can of WD-40 for my office. We learned yesterday that Anna already owns duct tape and WD-40, which apparently is in her toolbox, which I don't know where that lives. But I now have duct tape in my office. If I ever use it, I will buy some WD-40. I didn't realise it was going to be quite such a large roll when I ordered it. For context, that's a normal sized mug next to this enormous roll of duct tape. But I think you could ask me in 3 years to show you the duct tape and it will still be in the packaging unopened. So I just can't imagine I'll ever have a reason to use it. Especially because I also have a new roll of gaffer tape, which I had run out of and do actually use. Gaffer tape is actually useful. If it doesn't move and should move, use WD-40. If it moves and shouldn't move, use duct tape. Nice. I feel like there was a solution that probably didn't involve tape there. Couldn't you have stuffed an even bigger cat up there to block the path? Or like a big pillow or something? Why is there nobody in the middle when a cross comes in? What's going on? Oh, look at Antunes go. What a goal! 21 for the season now from the best player ever to play in the Swiss league. Also, every cam is a business expense. Yeah, just like for a plumber, every span is a business expense. But must clarify again, because every time we talk about business expenses, I swear there's people who don't understand. Business expense doesn't mean it's free. I do still have to pay for things. I own my business. Any money my business spends is money that doesn't ultimately end up in my personal bank account. There's only 500 of these in the world. Can you believe I managed to score one of them? Probably the best collectible I own, this hat. Only 500 in the world, and somehow I've got one. It's amazing. What a hat. What a hat. It's like saying, oh, I quite like football. Yeah, but snooker's much better. Well, Okay, you like snooker. That's fine. They're not at all comparable, but I'm glad you enjoy snooker. Fill your boots on snooker. You enjoy your UFC. It's all better, though. I mean, it's not comparable. It's a nonsense thing to say. So I like comic books. Well, I like board games. They're totally different. I'd like a really well done AEW management game. I mean, there are wrestling management games that are pretty good. They just don't have the budget to compete, even with something like Football Manager. And announce in advance that Sami Zayn's not in it and just try to avoid that backlash of having Sami not win. Maybe. We are losing 2-0. This isn't ideal. Right, come on, Antunes. Why has he not just had a shot there? He's our top scorer. He should just be walloping it from there. Oh! Oh, my word. This is absolute bobbins. Right, we're going attacking and we're demanding more. Saitan something. Letters that don't go together. Saitan CX Ritual, maybe. Thank you for the prime, regardless. Even if I struggle to say your name, I need to throw a water bottle. I'm not a madman. I play Football Manager the way I would act in real life. There is not a single human circumstance that would lead me to throw something at or in the presence of another person. Because I'm not a psycho. Right, it's the semi-final of the Cup, but we have lost 2 games in a row. But this team didn't even make it into the championship split. So fingers crossed. Is that not counting? I was getting excited for a moment there, and I think the referee's just let his finger in himself. 3 new players. You can have 3 players and replace 1 sole player. The goal has been given. An 89th minute winner. We're in the final, I think. I mean, are you guessing, or is that serious? They're paying 150k a week for Navas, and another 100k a week on Dean Henderson. You lot are criticising me for what I've done at Preston, but you're telling me Nottingham Forest are paying £1 million a month on salaries for goalkeepers who are on loan. And we're here criticising Chelsea. Right, I have put Sky Sports News back on now. I've not seen any talk of Declan Rice to Arsenal. Almost as if Arsenal genuinely are finished. I just can't believe Lokonga. I know Lokonga's not very good, but I can't believe when that was a position that Arsenal was short in, the solution is bring in a midfielder and then immediately ship the other reserve midfielder out. I know we talked about this earlier and there's ways that it works, but to me it doesn't work. I don't understand. Right, I think we now have guaranteed a top 2 finish. Rico Lewis does what Zinchenko does. Arteta didn't invent it. Pep did, and Arteta took it and made it even better. Oh, yeah. I mean, Cancelo was doing the same things as well. Zinchenko was doing it at City. It's not something he's invented at Arsenal. He was doing it at City. Cancelo was doing it. Yeah, it's clearly it's part of this Manchester City system. Okay, it's confirmed we've won the league. There's only 1 game left, but we haven't won anything because we still have to do the playoff, which is going to be against Basel. So we've now got to play a meaningless game against Basel and then play them 3 more times to try and actually win the title. It's ridiculous. And that's the annoying thing. Dortmund rubbing their hands together for Bellingham. That's the thing. If Enzo is worth 120 million, Bellingham's now worth 150. Declan Rice's price has just gone up. Makes the Haaland price even better. Well, that was because it was a release clause, wasn't it? Haaland on the open market goes for way more than he was actually bought for. I think what it all confirms is Odegaard for 30 million is the steal of the century so far. Didn't Chelsea just sign Bellingham? is a great question. I can only assume that Bowley only watched the World Cup final, or Bellingham's already arranged a deal to go somewhere else. It isn't. I imagine Bellingham's already signed for Real Madrid. Still haven't announced Pedro Porro. Well, I was reading last night that apparently City have got a buyback clause, like quite a low buyback clause on Porro. And there was rumours of him going back to City. Now Cancelo's gone. I don't know if anything ever came of that as the day's gone on. So, oh, that's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Big game, red card. Who'd have thought? But yeah, having Marriott on the bench for most of the season has been bonkers. He's the second best striker in League One. So now he can go and play a load of football and either get injured again, as he likes to do, or be one of the top scorers in the division. Arsenal could recall Patino. He looks a good talent. Yeah, but he's better off staying at Blackpool for the rest of the season and getting games than being fourth choice midfielder at Arsenal. Well, this bodes well going into the playoff. We're down to 10 men and we're beating the team we've got to play in the playoff. We should now get confirmation of how this ridiculous playoff works. And I think we'll call it there and play the playoff tomorrow and do the summer and stuff tomorrow, because I am getting pretty sleepy and I don't want to balls this up. Right, so there's your confirmation that we are playing Basel. Is it once or many times? Let's have a look. No, it is a 3-match play. For goodness sake, that is ridiculous. We play them home, away, and home. And the winner wins the championship, I guess. You said coming to Switzerland was a good idea. Goodness me. Boys and girls, we are going to wrap things up there. Let's try and find somebody to raid.